Yeah, you can't beat an ice cream in the sunshine. Cheers, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well, and yes, it is the Jimjam British Comedy special. So in this video guys, I will reveal my all-time favourite British comedy. And it was very tough guys, trust me, it was very tough. There were some very close contenders over the years that could have been there, but this one has topped it all. And surprisingly, it's not what you think it is, even though that is very close. It was between the two, but I'll reveal what the second was later. But for my all-time favourite British comedy, my all-time favourite British comedy is, should have a little bit of a drum roll. Oh, that's the best I'm going to get. Yes, my all-time favourite British comedy is Gavin and Stacey. Yes, this is an absolute, in my eyes, this is comedy gold. This is British comedy at its finest. Not only do we get comedy in this show, guys, we get drama. We get a few emotional scenes as well, but this is just totally on par. Especially the Christmas special, the first Christmas special. I have seen that. I must have seen that about 20-30 times. But why do I like Gavin and Stacey so much? It's the characters. I think it's the characters. I think it's the chemistry. I think it's the families. Look, you got two families' names as murderers as their surnames. You got the Shipmans and you got the Wests. You know, this is just writing at its very best. You've got James Corden, and you got Ruth Jones. I know not everyone's a big James Corden fan, but this is the show that really put James Corden on the map, I think. And yeah, there's just, you got Larry Lamb as well, what a legend, and Alison Steadman, who before this was a fantastic actress. I remember seeing Alison Steadman in Abigail's Party, and I thought, wow, what a fantastic actress. And yeah, and you've also got, of course, you've got Joanna Page playing Stacey as well. Even though this show is called Gavin and Stacey, the main story revolves about Nessa and Smithy. So that's what makes it so much fun. And in series one, we get to meet more of the characters. We get to hear more about the backstory about these characters and how they have become who they are. And as the show goes on, as the series progresses, there's more and more laughs. We meet more characters as the series progresses. And yeah, it is just one of my all-time favourite British sitcoms. And I think this show would be popular in years and years to come. It's one of those shows that doesn't get outdated. You see some comedies and you watch them and you think, yeah, they were good then, but to watch now, they seem a little bit outdated. I don't know if that's a PC thing or what, but yeah, Gavin and Stacey has definitely stood the test of time. And it was made like, how many years ago? 2008, was it? 2008, the first episode was broadcast. That is like, yeah. It's madness. Over 10 years at least. Over 10 years old. And of course, they come back a couple of years ago with a brand new Christmas special. And everyone was hyped about seeing that when it was broadcast Christmas Day. It was like the big thing. And yeah, I really hope they make some more soon, because Gavin and Stacey, wow, yeah, definitely one of my all-time favourite sitcoms. So guys, what I thought I'd do, because my all-time favourite sitcom is Gavin and Stacey, why not go to the location where some of Gavin and Stacey was filmed? If you're not sure where it was, guys, it was Barry Island in Wales. So I decided to take a little trip. Let's have a look. Hey guys, so today I have come to Barry Island, and yes, the sun has just come out. It's still a bit cloudy and a little bit windy, but yeah, the sun is out. We're in Barry Island. So what show is filmed in Barry Island? That we know, of course, it is Gavin and Stacey. So yeah, we're going to go and take a little look round Barry Island, see what we can find. So let's go. Oh, that looks a big ice cream, doesn't it? Wow. Sub-Zero scoop ice cream. So yeah, this is the menu from Marco's Cafe. The tea, coffee, all sorts of stuff, hot chocolate, marshmallows. Yeah, so you probably remember this from Gavin and Stacey. So this is the bit in the last episode where they're all sat on the wall. So let's take a look down this bit. So we've got O'Shea's fish and chip shop, Boofy's, and then we've got another fish and chip shop. Yes, so if we look here, this is the amusement. This is Nessa's Slots at Barry Island, the home of Gavin and Stacey. So yeah, we're going to go and take a look at the arcade in a minute. Yeah, got loads of buckets and spades and all sorts. Yeah, I'm having a great day today at Barry Island. Yes, Gavin and Stacey is one of my all-time favourite TV comedies, British TV comedies. So guys, I'll ask some of my friends in the Blue Tube community what some of their favourite British comedies was. So let's take a look.
Hi Jimjam, it's Scotty from Scotty's Movies here, and I just wanted to tell you what my favourite British comedy series of all time is. Trying to narrow this down to one show has just been a bit of a nightmare, but I think ultimately I'm going to have to go with Only Fools and Horses. Probably a lot of people are going to say this. I've grown up watching Only Fools and Horses. Obviously started in, was it 1981, I think it was. It's obviously got your iconic characters, Del Boy, Rodney, Grandad, Uncle Albert, Trigger. Yeah, there's just so many characters, and they're all awesome. And there's so many lines that I remember. I can still, it's weird, I can still watch the show now, and even though I pretty much know what's coming, the lines off by heart, it's still funny. And for a show to do that, it's got to be good. So so my pick for the best British comedy show of all time is Only Fools and Horses. Okay, bonjour.
Without the Jimjam Movies and TV, my favourite British comedy show is The Last of the Summer Line. The reason why I love this show is it's got British sitcom actors who was in previous TV shows in the 1970s.
Hello everybody, I'm new to land. Jamie Powell back for a very short clip from my good friend Jim Jam. He asked me about my favourite British show. There's so many to pick from, it's very difficult to pick just one. I mean, I could have gone down the Only Fools and Horses route, but I went with Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf was the show I used to watch as a kid and absolutely loved it. The humour, the writing, the characters, the stories. It's basically about these people on a spaceship in the middle of space, obviously. You got Cat, Lister, Rimmer and Crichton. Crichton is a robot, Cat is a cat in a human being. You got a hologram of an absolute knob, and you got the last Earthling left on the Earthling. You know what I mean, the last human on the ship. And it's a really funny show, really well written, great characters, like I said, and it's just a show I've grown up with. I would say that series 1 to 6 is the best. After that, it was a bit hit and miss, especially if you got later on. But overall, I still support the show. I think it's great, it's still going. But 1 to 6 is my favourite era of Red Dwarf. So fantastic. Red Dwarf is my pick for the best British show, or one of at least. Over to you, Jim Jam.
So Jim Jam's asked me what my favourite British TV show is of all time, and there it is. It's bottom. It could also be The Young Ones, but basically anything with these two I find hilarious. So I saw this originally when it came out. It only ran for 3 series. I have been to 2 of the 5 live shows, I believe. We only got 18 episodes, each of 22 minutes, but all of that was gold. No matter what my mood, I can put an episode on and always get cheered. I always watch the episode called Terror every Halloween and Holy every Christmas. And it's such a sad loss that Rick Mail is no longer with us, but he left us with all this comedy gold. So that's why it's my favourite British TV show. So thanks for Jim Jam, and here endeth the lesson.
Cannibal Taffy Jones! That's like you ignorant English wankers!
Hello everyone, Scott and Movie Critic here. I just want to quickly say thank you to James, Jimjam Movies TV, for this opportunity to let me take part in this video with favourite British sitcoms. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity, my friend. And my answer for this will be bottom. I grew up watching this comedy when I was younger, and I've just loved it since I was a kid. I think Rick Melvin and Ed Edmondson's chemistry on screen together is absolutely fantastic. The timing of the comedy between those two is just absolutely perfect. And yeah, this show is just absolutely hilarious. And it's just so funny to see two mates that absolutely hate each other at the same time. They're like best friends, but they can't stand each other at the same time, and they're always fighting, and it's just absolutely hilarious to watch. And yeah, that is why Bottom is my favourite sitcom. It's just so funny. It has some great one-liners in it, and it's just so quotable as well, and it's just so entertaining from start to finish, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, again, thank you, James, for letting me take part in this video. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that'll do it for this quick video, everyone. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all later.
Hi, Jimjam. My favourite all-time British TV comedy is Friday Night Dinner. The reason for this is it's just so hilarious, and it's one that me and my brother both just love to watch together. And I can't really pick a favourite character because I like them all. Have you seen the series? What do you think?
Hey up! My favourite British comedy has got to be The Young Ones. I just remember finding it exceptionally funny when I was at school, and I still to this day do every time I watch it. And my favourite character by far is Rick. However, I'm going to pick two because I've got two favourites which are totally different. The other one is an 80s sitcom starring Windsor Davies and Donald Sinden, and it's Never the Twain. And I love both of those characters the same because they are just so funny. And it was like virtually smut-free comedy. I used to watch it with my dad, so if I have to narrow it down to one, I want to say The Young Ones. But if I can have a joint, I want to say The Young Ones and Never the Twain. And I deserve to because I'm gorgeous.
Welcome everybody, it's Cypher Sigma Screen Times here, and I've had a little request from a fellow YouTuber, Jimjam. He obviously wants us, or wants the community to reach out and tell him what is our favourite British comedy. So, what is my favourite British comedy? Here it is, Coupling. Maybe not heard by many people, it is created by Stephen Moffat of Doctor Who. Yeah. It basically is a kind of British Friends. These two are a couple, and these four are basically the friends of these two, and it's how when two people get together, their friends intermingle and all the things that happen. I say it's very much like the Friends basis, maybe a little bit ruder in places because they talk about certain things. But yeah, it was 90s, it was funny. My favourite character is obviously Jeff. Played by Richard Coyle. He is absolutely funny. The writing and everything is just brilliant. Unfortunately, he leaves at series 3 because he wanted to not be typecast, and he's done well. He was in the latest Fantastic Beasts movies. He's done quite well. But yeah, just lines like Shaking the Caravan, Jeffrey, Junior Patrick, and other stuff like that is brilliant. I say there's even guest stars and other people in it you'll notice have gone on to do big stuff. But anyway, thanks Jimjam for letting me be part of your video. Hope you enjoyed this. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. See you in the next one.
Hello Deadly Dude, and greetings from South Wales. My favourite British comedy of all time is Blackadder. This was a must for any kid in the 1980s. It was absolute genius. Series 1 was good, but it wasn't until Series 2 and 3 that it really became a classic. With one-liners, wit, I have a cunning plan. Do you get it? Lack! Sounds a bit like... I absolutely loved it. However, it wasn't until Series 4, Blackadder Goes Forth, that the pure brilliance of Blackadder came through, making it one of the greatest TV programmes of all time. It brilliantly showed the futility of war, and I dare anybody to have a dry eye during that last episode. Thank you Ben Elton, Richard Curtis, Rowan Atkinson and Tony Robinson. Pure genius, very cunning.
Hey Jimjam, favourite British sitcom? Hard one. I did have a little think about this last night. I was very close to choosing Only Fools and Horses, Blackadder, but I settled on the one that makes me laugh more than any other, and that is Bottom, with the amazing, ever-missed Rick Mell and Ed Edmondson. I must say, that's a smashing blouse you've got on.
Hello everyone, and thank you James for inviting me on your channel to talk about my favourite British comedies. I actually have 3 favourite British comedies of all time. I couldn't single out just one, so I'm going to mention all 3. Now the first one is probably the best one of them all, but I've got a sneaky feeling it's going to be very popular with everybody else, and that is Only Fools and Horses. So many funny moments. My second favourite, back in the day, I'm going to really show my age here, but it's true. Back in the 1970s, 80s, we only had channels 1 to 3. So this particular comedy first aired in 1973. I was born in 1974, so as you can imagine, this had a big part of my childhood, and it's called On the Buses. Stan and Jack did a brilliant job at winding Blakey up. It was just brilliant TV back in the day, and it's still watchable today. My third and final mention for my British favourite comedy. This was a comedy that started in 1998, The Royal Family. I just love watching this comedy series. Why, you say? Just so many funny moments, and he's going to really kill me if he ever finds out and watches this video. Jim Royal reminds me of my dad, just sitting in that sofa, flicking those channels over, not moving. I really hope he doesn't watch this. He will absolutely lynch me if he finds out. But it's true, he just reminds me of Jim Royal, and I just love watching The Royal Family. James, thank you so much for inviting me on your channel. So my favourite is obviously Only Fools and Horses, and I've also got On the Buses from the 70s, and I've got The Royal Family from the 90s. Thank you so much, James. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Paul here, over from the Magpie Movies channel. Thanks James, aka Jimjam, for allowing me and inviting me to share with me my thoughts on the best British TV comedy series. So, from a personal level, at the age of 44, born in 78, I feel like all the best TV shows have been and gone, and the ones these days just aren't really as good as what they used to be. So I've come up with a few TV shows which I've got in front of me here now, and I'll go through leading up to my number 1 spot. So in no particular order, the ones that I really enjoy. Everyone in theory should say the Blackadder series, really good show. The second, Blackadder the Second, Queen Elizabeth II in it, is my personal favourite. You can't go wrong with Edmund Blackadder. Great writing by Ben Elton, Ron Atkinson's great in it, so that's 1. And then also, of course, we have Bottom. Love Bottom, great shows, great stand-up shows, great tours. Love the humour. Sadly, Rick Mell is no longer with us now, but a big shout out to Bottom. And also, I have in my collection here the Father Ted. I remember when the first series and the first episode was aired on Channel 4. God knows what year that was. What year was it? 1995 it looks like. I remember watching these, I think it was a Friday night at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, used to come on Channel 4. Really enjoyed those, big shout out to that. But my third place of my favourite comedy TV shows is, Spaced, obviously. You know, Edgar Wright's Spaced with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Great show on Channel 4. I think people of my generation are more into it than the kids these days. It's kind of a lost one, but yeah, I highly recommend Spaced. Secondly, I don't have it on me physically because it's in the loft, but it's Ricky Gervais's The Office. Absolutely brilliant. The first time we ever got introduced to Ricky Gervais's comedy writing and TV shows, so I highly recommend The Office. But yes, my number 1 show, TV show, comedy show ever is Fawlty Towers. Can't go wrong with it. I own the DVDs, don't own the Blu-rays, one day I will. But yeah, Fawlty Towers for me is just brilliant. I remember having on Betamax, my dad used to take off the telly, then VHS, now DVD. I love every single one of these episodes. You can't go wrong with any of these episodes. So there you go. So my number 1 favourite TV comedy series show is Fawlty Towers. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.
Hello, Mr. Jim Jam. It is your boy, Smith Boy, and I am here to give off my amazing opinion on what my favourite British comedy TV series is, for the sake of your legendary video. And of course, I had to think very, very hard, and I have decided my all-time favourite British comedy series is Friday Night Dinner. Now, the reason why I love this show so much is pretty much based on 3 reasons. First of all, I had to mention this because it is kind of in a way of a very sad memory, but he was such an amazing man and he made us all laugh in this series so much. It is, of course, the late Paul Ritter that we lost a couple of years ago. He is just so funny as Martin, and honestly, if there was anyone that I would have loved to meet who probably sounds like such a genuine guy, it's got to be Paul Ritter. Now, the second reason, of course, like you would probably say the predecessor, which is of course the In-Betweeners, which has got Simon Bird in. It's just so ridiculously funny, and there's so many moments that I will never ever want to forget until as long as I'm old, and it's just one of them classic moments. You just want to do the honours of telling your kids in the future. And also, number 3 is, of course, I had to bring him in. He's one of my all-time favourite characters from the show. It is, of course, the disaster neighbour, Jim. And reason why, because Mark Heap is just an amazing guy, an amazing actor, an amazing comedian, and he just makes me laugh in this show like you wouldn't believe. And the fact that he has his amazing dog Wilson, he's just probably one of the highlights of the shows. And yeah, anyway, I hope this all helps, buddy. Hope the video goes well. Take care of yourself, and peace.
Hey James, Big Paulie here. Thank you for letting me submit my choice for my favourite sitcom of all time. For me, there is only one. Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, it may be at the top of a lot of people's lists. It may not be. But for me, this is what British comedy is about. Created by John Sullivan, and it ran from 1981 all the way through to 2003. We have such fantastic characters, including Del Boy, Rodney, Trigger, and Boycie, Marlene. Oh, it's just fantastic. Even Grandad in the earlier episodes. And there are just some hilarious scenes that, like, 30 years later, you just have to look at this particular scene on the TV screen, and you cannot help but start laughing. The dialogue is just timeless. The bar scene, of course, a lot of people's favourites. Out of Only Fools and Horses, my favourite episode of all time has got to be the Jolly Boys outing. This episode, especially for me, brings back a lot of memories. Going to Margate in my teen years, going to the theme park as well, walking along the seafront with bags of chips. I didn't quite have a Kiss Me Quick hat or a dolphin under my arm, unlike Trigger, but yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. The writing that they did for this show is amazing. You could go from one moment laughing your head off and almost falling off the sofa to just crying your eyes out. And it's just one of those shows that is timeless, and you can just watch over and over and over and over. Also, for the first couple of seasons, we had Grandad. Who can forget Grandad? What a fantastic character. And just thinking about something is making me laugh. And unfortunately, we lost Leonard Pearce early in the series when he passed away, and we thought that was it. I mean, who can you get to replace Grandad? Uncle Albert came along. Lightning. You can't get that twice. You can't do it twice. It's absolutely incredible. And I think probably my favourite line from Uncle Albert, cold? You youngsters don't know about cold. One day the flame on my lighter froze.
Do with an extra blanket or freezing in here.
Yeah, it is a bit cold, isn't it? Cold? You bits of kid don't know the meaning of the word. You should have been with me on the Russian convoys. One night it was so cold the flame on my lighter froze.
So just thinking about that makes you just, oh my God, it's just so hilarious. So yes, I wish hopefully one day they will release the entire series, all of the specials onto Blu-ray. This is the set that I have at the moment, but it does also include 4-minute additional footage in the Jolly Boys outing as well. I'll leave you with a little bit of trivia that might come in handy one day at a pub quiz. We all know that Roger Lloyd Pack played Bumbling Fool Trigger, but do you know his real character name for the series? Colin Ball. Yeah, it took me about 25 years to learn that, but there we go. That is Only Fools and Horses, my #1 favourite comedy, British comedy of all time. Thank you again, James, for letting me submit this entry. I can't wait to see everybody else's top picks, but thanks again, mate, and I'll see you soon.
Yay, lovely jubbly!
Jimjam. Dudley. So, you've asked me to pick my best British comedy programme. Well, that's a hard choice from Fawlty Towers, Some Others Do Have 'Em, Keeping Up Appearances, Rising Damp, Love Thy Neighbour, Bless This House. There are so many to choose from. And of course, the iconic Only Fools and Horses, which would probably be my choice as the best British comedy programme of all time. But I figured that some other people would probably pick this programme as well. So I'm going to highlight another one of my favourite sitcoms. And that's a sitcom from 1962. It ran for 12 years till 1974, and they made 58 episodes and 2 feature films, and that is Steptoe and Son. Steptoe and Son is the story of father and son who run a rag and bone business in London, and they're played by Wilfred Brimble and Harry H. Corbett, and it's basically the story of them running this business and how the son wants to sort of escape his overbearing father and move on with his own life, but you know, it doesn't work out like that, as is usually the case. And it's a brilliant programme. It was written by Ray Galton and Alan Simpson, and it's the perfect example of just 2 people to carry a sitcom for 30 minutes. Most of the episodes are just those 2 together, but there are occasional episodes where other guest stars come in. Most notably, I think Leonard Rossiter was in one of them. I think actually he was in a couple, to be fair. But my favourite episode is an episode called Divided We Stand. It's basically where they split the house into 2 halves, and it's brilliant comedy. Well played by both actors and well written. And so that is going to be my choice, and that is the iconic Steptoe and Son.
Sir, I've been asked by Dudley to pick my favourite British comedy, and only one kind of come to mind, and that is Full Monty is an absolute classic, and it is a film that if it gets remade, you can never recapture the magic again, because back in the day, this film now is just an absolute classic. And yeah, it is just a classic, it's funny,
it's got its humour, it's got a good cast actually, really good cast, and some of the actors have become quite famous and well known now. And yeah, it is just an absolute classic. It's just funny, entertaining, and pretty much, I know most of it word for word, it's just a fun film. And to the people that don't know, we're actually getting a sequel, but it's a series that's continuing, or a follow-on from Disney Plus, and most of the original cast are returning. But I'm excited because it is an absolute classic, and it's like Breakfast Club, for example. If you remake Breakfast Club, you can never recapture that magic again, because these films should never be remade, because if these got remade, you can never recapture the magic, because they're just absolute classics. And I love Breakfast Club as well, that is one of my favourites. And I watched this loads of times with family, with my mum. I watched it loads. And yeah, you can't beat it. It's just such a good, it's incredible. So yeah, that is my pick, The Full Monty.
Alright, me babbers, Bristolian Dave back here once again, and wait, this isn't my channel, this is Jim Jam's channel. So welcome to Jim Jam's channel. He's asked me and a few others to do a little video on our favourite British comedies. Now this was really hard, really hard. So I went through and I thought, what have I enjoyed the most? So I've decided to pick from my favourite British comedy, Dad's Army. Dad's Army is like the perfect combination of so many different personalities that come together to create this comedy genius at a time where people really needed it. And it's just like Lieutenant Corporal Jack Jones, probably my favourite character in it. He's absolutely hilarious, and I highly recommend you checking it out if you haven't already. So I want to thank Jim Jam for letting me be a part of this. Go sub to Bristolian Dave's YouTube channel if you haven't already. And yeah, let's see who else is on this and what's their favourite.
Hi James, and thanks for inviting me to take part in your video about fellow YouTubers choosing their favourite British sitcoms. So yeah, for my pick, I've kind of cheated a little bit because I've got two shows here, and it's always been a tie for me between these two shows. I absolutely love them both, and depending on what day of the week you catch me on, my answer could change between these two. So the two shows that I've chosen are Fawlty Towers and Blackadder. Yeah, I grew up with these shows, just absolutely love them to bits, love them to death. Both shows, are short and sweet in their lengths in their episodes, and that's probably one thing I really enjoy about them, just how impactful they are, and just doing a lot with a little, and yeah, just they have so much rewatchability for me, and I just really enjoy these shows, and that's why the pair of them are my favourite British comedy show. Well, yeah, just have an absolute blast with these ones. And yeah, just really enjoy them on a rewatch. So yeah, thanks very much, James, for asking me to take part in this video. So yeah, take care, mate, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Yes, guys, I've had a fantastic day in the glorious sunshine in Barry Island in Wales, of course, yes. But it's time to go home now, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this vlog anyway. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye. I just want to say a massive thank you, guys, to everyone who contributed to this video. I really do appreciate it, guys. You guys are all legends, and without you guys, this video wouldn't be possible. So massive Jim Jam thumbs up, and thank you, guys.